Today we're going to show you a fantastic method for painting that bluish-grey power armour of Space Wolves. What you should do first of all is undercoat your miniature with the Fang spray, which you can see is exactly what I've done with my Intercessor just here. And this is a great way to start because not only does it undercoat your miniature, but it applies the first base coat in one go. After that you'll need rust grey, and with this we're going to do a technique called wet brushing, which is a bit unusual, but I'll explain it shortly. After that we'll dry brush the miniature with Fenrisian grey to highlight it, and then we'll go to Agrax Earthshade to give the detail a little bit more definition. And after that we'll apply an edge highlight of Fenrisian grey once more to complete that armour. But for this first step with rust grey we're going to be doing this wet brushing technique, and this is essentially dry brushing, though you allow the paint to be a little bit wetter than normal. To do it, what I recommend you do is get a medium layer brush and use this to get the paint ready. So we're going to get some rust grey and pop it onto the palette and then thin it down with water as usual. Now the kind of consistency I'm looking for is a little bit thinner than normal. I'm looking for it to be a bit like this, and then what I'm going to do is switch over to a small dry brush. So to get this ready, what you do is just get a little bit of that paint on your brush and then use a good solid surface like the palette just to work it in amongst the bristles a bit more like this. Now to check you got it right, a great thing you can actually do is dry brush it onto your hand. So if I just start applying some here like this, you can see the colour slowly builds up, but it's not falling into the wrinkles in my skin, so I know I've got the right sort of consistency here. So let's load up a little bit more, and then what I'm going to do is start running this across the armour. Now what this will tend to do is collect more on smoother panels like this and avoid the recesses. So you can see it's transparent because it is a layer paint, so you will have to do 2 coats here, but by gradually doing this you can get a nice smooth result in your armour and really build up that colour whilst avoiding the recesses as well. And here we have the result of the wet brushing. You can see by gradually building up that colour I've got a nice smooth result to it, but remember it's all about patience. Don't put on too much paint at once because you'll start to clog up recess detail. But with that done we're ready to move on to Fenrisian grey, and this one's going to be dry brushed, and what you want to do is just keep angling your brush to catch all the sharpest edges of the armour. With that done, we're now ready to add more definition to the armour by applying a recessed shade of Agrax Earthshade. And what you need here is a small layer brush to apply it, and all you do is paint it directly into all the recesses and corners all across the armour. And finally, add an edge highlight of Fenrisian grey to your power armour, focusing on all the most prominent areas. So a great example is this vent we got on top of the helmet here, but I'd also paint things like the brows, the tops of the knees, all that kind of thing. Things you can easily access with your brush. And with that highlight applied, the blue-grey of this Space Wolf Intercessor's power armour is complete and is ready for the remaining details to be painted in. So I really hope you guys have found that one interesting and that you have fun painting your Space Marines too. We'll see you again soon.